Now, straight away, though, time for a festive tale that truly is heartwarming in every sense of the word. And watch out, here comes the snow that I promised you.
Christmas 2004. Heating engineer Stephen Rowan answered a last-minute call for help.
I didn't really want to work that day because I was planning to have some time off.
But as Stephen had installed the boiler, and he knew the owners were an elderly and frail couple, he felt an obligation to repair it.
All right, come on in.
The problem seemed a simple one to fix. The central heating was working fine. It was only the hot water that was playing up.
Tried the heating, that was working great.
After checking the water, he made his way to the boiler and into a whole lot of trouble.
I hope you can get it fixed.
Oh, okay, thanks. I'll see what I can do. I thought it was the heat exchange, what's gone. I thought something got stuck in there. That was what my diagnosis was.
After working on the boiler for 30 minutes, Stephen was no closer to working out what the problem was.
I put a new hot water sensor in, and all of a sudden the boiler started, it went totally berserk.
Plumes of steam and a loud banging were signalling that a once poorly boiler was now terminal. It seemed more and more likely that he'd have to order replacement parts, and that in itself was a problem. Suppliers had closed down for the festive break, meaning that it would be at least 2 weeks before he could get hold of any, leaving the elderly couple with no hot water and heating over Christmas.
The boiler's had it now. Basically it's my fault. I came to make the hot water better, and now we've got nothing.
He tried everything he could think of, but eventually had to give up.
So at the time I was panicking, and I said, please God, angels, help me, help me.
Distraught at the thought of leaving the elderly couple in a cold house, he started to pack his tools away.
I was hoping that all of a sudden the boiler would start working, and a miracle, but nothing happened.
He made his way to the van. As he opened the door, he caught sight of something falling. He made a grab for it. It was a printed circuit board.
I won't keep printed circuit boards in my van because I throw tools and everything and it just got smashed to pieces. So if I had one, it would be in the box, it would be in my shed.
Stephen hadn't thought of checking to see if the circuit board for the boiler was working or not, so he thought, why not, and gave it one last try. Against the odds from the thousands available on the market, the circuit board from the van was a perfect match. He doubted that the one in the boiler was faulty, but decided to fit the new one anyway.
I switched it on, everything worked perfect.
I feel it, you feel it, and that this was meant to be. I know it.
He never told the elderly couple how close they came to spending a decidedly chilly Christmas, and kept what he viewed as a festive miracle to himself.
As I came back out my van, I was, thank you, thank you.
So where did the replacement circuit board appear from? Was it the work of a festive angel, or simply a forgotten purchase?
Stephen, in saying a very festive welcome to you, all I will say is that I want a heating engineer like you.
Oh, thank you.
So I hope you move into my area. Now, I mean, I checked it out. Something like 23,000 different parts for heating and boilers and everything. How do you explain that circuit board just falling out?
Well, I can't explain it. For one, I don't keep printed circuit boards. They're too expensive. They could be from anything from £60 to about £300.
So you hadn't seen that one before?
No, no. So I don't keep them because I do a lot of putting heating systems in, so I don't keep all parts.
I don't know. I'm going to ask Lennis actually if there is such a thing as a heating angel. Who knows? Never heard of one. But anyway, forget about Santa's little helpers, because joining me now to give their opinion on Stephen's story are my little angel helpers just for this programme, Lennis Eckersley and Professor Chris French.
Glenys is a best-selling author and world-leading angel expert. She's written many successful books which feature extraordinary, uplifting stories drawn from all over the world. Chris is a professor of psychology at Goldsmiths College, University of London. He often appears on television and radio, casting a skeptical eye over the stories of the paranormal. What will they make of today's angelic experience?
Oh, Chris, I've called you my little Christmas angel, my little helper. Will you be an angel just for this week?
I'm always angelic, Gloria. You know that. Always.
That I know you're not. Anyway, I was laughing to myself thinking, is there a heating engineer angel? So Glenys, how do you explain this mystery?
Well, it's a lovely Christmas gift, isn't it, from the angels? It was a fabulous gift. It's one of those wonderful stories that you can't explain, you know, except by, I would say, supernatural means. And to me, it is just the perfect ask and you shall be given. And in fact, there's a lovely rider to this story, because I was at their shop one day a couple of years ago and he was telling me the story and I was going to put it in the book. And I said, did you ever tell that elderly, you know, man and woman what had happened? And he said, no, he said, I daren't. I was just glad to get home. And I said, oh, wouldn't it be nice if they knew? And he said, I've never seen them again and I'm very rarely in that area. And as he said that, they walked past the shop, didn't they?
Oh, my goodness.
So we ran out and dragged them in and told them the story.
So, was it supernatural then, Chris?
I think the big question here is, was the circuit board actually in the van before you opened the door or not? I mean, there's two possibilities. One is that it wasn't, that the angels somehow got their hands on one. I mean, whether they found a warehouse that was open or, you know.
But they've got means to get in through the window anyway.
Angels,
I mean, they may have even pinched out somebody else's central heating. Maybe somebody else froze for that Christmas. I mean, to me, it strikes me as being much more likely that it was actually already there. And it fell out at the right time. So what we've got is basically a coincidence to explain. How come that one out of all the thousands that could have been there was the one that matched?
Now, Wendy, of course, is our founder of Skeptic magazine. So come on, Wendy, deal it out at Christmas.
Actually, the thing that occurs to me is that I don't think we give humans enough credit. You know, it wasn't angels that designed heating systems. It isn't angels that keep us warm every winter. It isn't angels that give us hot water for showers. People invented those systems and people installed them. And, you know, I think it might be a time to sort of marvel at human ingenuity.
But Wendy, it was hardly lying in the snow, just waiting to be picked up, was it? Fell out of the van.
No, but, you know, it is like Chris says. I mean, there's a mathematician in the States named John Allen Paulus who's done a lot of analysis of how often coincidences like this happen. And there are more of them than you'd think, because 60 million people in the United Kingdom is an awful lot of people. And if you think about the odds and stuff and you do the math, it seems pretty clear that an awful lot of very strange things are going to happen every day.
Where's Nikki? Okay, Nikki, let's get a microphone to you. And what's your point? Have you spoken to angels or had prayers answered?
I'm a big believer, and I think that perhaps concentrating so much on the circuit board, perhaps the angels actually were the people who sent him to fix it in the first place.
Oh, now there's a thought.
I mean, had another...
It wasn't the circuit board at all. They just tweaked something else.
You know, maybe would another engineer have just got in his van and driven away on Christmas Day? Maybe as angels were, he was supposed to be there to fix their boiler because nobody else would have.
Well, what do you think then, Stephen? Well, he might be redundant.
Yeah. Well, maybe the angels can see the future. Because since then, it got written about in a book. It was in American magazine, the story.
It's been
and now on broadcast on television.
So, Chris, okay, this is all jollity for you for the festive season, but round this one up for me.
I think it raises an interesting question, doesn't it? If these angels can actually make a circuit board materialise, why did they need Stephen at all? Why not just fix the central heating? There was no need for it to break down in the first place.
Ah, well, I suppose they just needed a tool in which to, like, make all of this happen and make it all right.
Don't call Stephen a tool. That's not very nice at all. He's a nice
They
man.
wouldn't want to spook the old couple, would they?
Pardon?
They wouldn't want to spook the elderly couple.
No, they would not.
They could have done it without the old couple even being aware of it. The angels shouldn't let it break down in the first place.
Well, then we wouldn't have had such a great story for Christmas, but Stephen, just leave your number on the way out, will you? I want it in my book. Well, thanks for joining us, and of course to your wife next to you.